Welcome to Fields and Skylines Test Farm. Today we are going to be doing our first Learn With Me episode. Learn With Me episodes are where I take things that I have no idea how they work or if they'd be useful in gameplay or not, and I throw them out on the test farm, try them out, learn how they work. Could be mods, could be buildings, could be whatever, and see if they're going to work for me in either of my role-play type games or my let's play type games or whatever it may be. But since this is the first time doing one of these, I thought I would show off the test farm a little bit first before we get into what we're going to be learning about today, which are TMR mixers, but not the wagon types, like all the big building. Again, I play on console, so I think I have all the ones I could find on the console, but I don't know for sure. So let's take a quick tour. First, we're on Elm Creek, basic Elm Creek map. I bought the property that is really close to the dealership here. Big plot up here is where the farm is. I have a test field here that I may keep as a test field or might just expand for putting down things and buy some of these fields for test fields. But it's close to the dealership, so anything we need to buy, it's close by and whatnot. So that's where the farm is located. Quick tour. I have diesel, so I don't have to run to the gas station. Workshop, some storage, silo that holds just about anything and lots of it. A shed where I kind of park some of the equipment. A bales, pallet storage over there if I need to store pallets or bales for any reason. This is a silo that I can purchase anything from, so I don't have to run around the map buying things. Inside the test garage, I just have some equipment. I really didn't have any reason for why I bought what I bought. I just got things I like. I also got some equipment that I rarely ever use, like this bad boy. I rarely ever use in real gameplay because to me it's kind of unrealistic, and I tend to go more realistic with things. So as you can see, I had a JCB, smaller one, the mid-size 4220, got a telehandler. I got a larger Fent. I like this tractor. I don't use it a lot in gameplay. I don't know why, but I really do like this tractor. For some reason, I gravitate towards that and the JCBs. I have a quick bale, just in case I got a bale header. I have a corn header. Transportation, I have in that little truck. I got the Rumbler van because it's great for filling it up with lots and lots and lots of stuff and then dumping it off wherever it needs to go. And then I have a trailer for whatever reasons. So that is kind of the test farm. You know, I can add, remove things to it. I have the government sign planted so that, you know, I have plenty of money. Again, being on console, can't really do the developer tools or anything real neat like that. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into some learning about TMR mixers. So these are all the TMR mixers I found. There's, you know, quite a few. Some are siloed. Some look, you know, like they belong on a farm. Some look more industrialized, like they'd be in a large co-op somewhere, or you know, some type of farming, industrialized farming area, like a big animal dealer would have, or something like that. They all have different recipes on how to make TMR. All of them can store different amounts, and I will link a spreadsheet in the description with all of the research I found on all of these. As I walk through them, I'll try to point things out. And then as I walk through them, I'll also talk about like how I would use them in my gameplay, or if I would. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and get started. with the TMR mixers. It's from the Midwest Production and Feed Pack from Schultz Modding. This mixer is very interesting because, yes, it will do kind of normal mixes, but there's also mixes where it can incorporate some of the products of that that pack that includes some outputs from making biodiesel and whatnot. So as you take a quick look here, you can see there are quite a few recipes. I did not test out all of the recipes. I've only did the couple that were just TMR medium, and I did TMR fast, where you can see it's your basic things that you normally need: hay, straw, silage, and whatnot. Um, 240 cycles a month. It's a little slow to fill up based off of how much you can get, and it costs $24 per cycle. Again, I have this all in a spreadsheet. It can store up to 8 million liters of TMR. You can put in 1 million hay, 1 million silage, 1 million straw. You can put mineral feed in this guy. There are recipes that use mineral feed that produce a little bit more silage or more TMR per month per cycle. The cost of the building is around $40,000. 10 cents per cycle is the cost per month. So basically 240 cycles, $24 monthly. And then I have in the sheet, you can look at it, how many cycles it will take to fill, which is quite a bit. So how would I use this mixer? So, well, let me show. First, you get your TMR. It comes out right here from the pipe right there. You can fill it here. You can drop your materials right here. Yes, it'll take bales. That's another important thing to make note of. I tested it. It takes bales and it takes loose as well. How would I use this? I'd probably use something like this. If, like, for example, I did some of the other, like a biodiesel plant, if I made it that biodiesel plant from that same Midwest Production and Feed Pack, I'd probably pop this in there with it and kind of just build a whole, like, industrial salesy kind of like industrial area for use. If I were to do something like that, that's how I would use this. I don't think I would place this on a farm, mainly because it's a little slow. Yeah, it holds a lot. It's a little slow to produce, though. So yeah, so that is Midwest Production and Feed Pack by Schultz Modding. The next place we're going to use, we'll move on to right over here. Again, this is a larger mod. This is the cow feed mixer. It's found, of course, in ModHub because I'm on the council, and it is authored by Zadel Zocket. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I think that's how it is. Zoddel Zockt. This also takes bales. It takes loose. It requires mineral feed. So you put straw, grass, and hay, or straw, silage, and hay in here. Each bin has their own drop point. And then you can come around here and you can pick up the TMR right here. Control it right there. And then that's where you drop mineral feed. This guy requires mineral feed for the recipe. If you take a look, it only has one recipe. You're producing 1,000 liters per cycle. So 600 cycles per month, $24. So this plant's a little bit cheaper, a little bit faster. Stores 4,000 liters of TMR, and then you can hold 1,000 hay, 1,800 or 1 million hay, 1.8 million silage, 1 million liters of straw, and 200,000 liters of mineral feed. See the recipe there. So you're putting in 1,000 liters of ingredients, and you're getting 1,000 liters of TMR out 1-to-1. It's expensive, $150,000 to place. So it is one of the more expensive mixers on the list. Again, link down below. 4 cents per cycle, which is really, really cheap. That's one of the better parts. 4,000 cycles to fill. And 1 month's output would be 600,000 liters of TMR. So I really like this station. I don't use it very much though, because in my role plays or my game plays, it's just way too big. If I was to use it again, this would be purely like something I might throw in at an animal dealer location or another, like a co-op-y. You're making like a farming co-op space. I could easily see that being put there. It is large, it is fast. It's probably one of my more favorite larger TMR mixing plants. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next set of 4. They're right over this way. The 4 big silos here, made from America. They're found in the American Silos pack. Ooh, bumpy spot there. As you can see, there are 4 American Silos pack by TK Farms. There are 4 of them, 2 steel and 2 concrete, 2 different sizes. Again, American Silos pack, TK Farms. So I'm going to start with the large concrete. You dump all of the products that you need right here. It does take bales, yes. You get what you need out right here. And let's go ahead and take the recipe. It's a basic recipe. No, it's just silage, hay, and straw. No mineral feed needed. It will hold 500,000 liters of silage. You get 84 cycles a month, $60 per cycle. You can see you put 100,000 liters of material in, you put 1,000 liters of material in, you get 1,000 liters TMR out. So it's 1-to-1 as well. It'll hold 500,000 liters of hay, 500,000 liters of silage, and 500,000 liters of straw. The cost of the large concrete silo here is $100,000, a little pricey, but you get a monthly cost of, a per cycle cost of 71 cents. It's one of the higher per cycle costs. You get 500 cycles to fill it up, and you can make 84,000 liters of TMR a month in this large concrete silo. Let's move on to the small concrete silo. Again, it will cost around $50,000 to build this on your farm. Let's go. It's the same concept. TMR comes out here, you fill it in the rear, back here, takes bale. The recipe is very similar. 1,000 liters in, 1,000 liters out. It's just how much it can hold. The smaller one holds about half of the large concrete at 250,000 liters, and it holds about 250,000 liters of hay, 250,000 liters of silage, 250,000 liters of straw. It does half the amount of cycles as the large, 48 cycles, $60 again per month. So coming out here for the small, we're talking again, one of the more expensive cost per cycle is at $1.25 per cycle, and it'll take about 250 cycles to fill its storage, and it does about 48,000 liters per month. So before I move to the steel, well, now I'll move on to the steel, because honestly what I'm going to say about all four of these are pretty identical. So this is the large steel silo. Again, you dump product in the back, does take bales. The TMR comes out pipe up here, and now these will be a little different again for how much they can hold. So the large steel silo can store 750,000 liters of TMR. Again, you're putting in 1,000 liters and getting out 1,000 liters. It has a little bit more cycles, 108 cycles, $60 per month. So it's probably going to be a little bit more reliable, like cheaper per month. It costs $125,000 to build, and it stores 750,000 liters of hay, silage, and straw. And we're looking at a cost of 56 cents per cycle, 750 cycles to fill, and every month it's going to make 108,000 liters of TMR. That's the large steel silo. Here is the small steel silo. Again, TMR in the front, store stuff in the back. And let's go ahead and jump in here. So the recipe again, 1,000 liters in, 1,000 liters out. It's running at 72 cycles a month, costs $60 per month. And the small steel silo costs $75,000 to build. It stores 400,000 liters of TMR, 400,000 hay, 400,000 silage, 400,000 straw. It costs 83 cents per cycle, and again, one of them more pricey, and it takes 400 cycles to fill, and it'll produce 72,000 liters of TMR per month. So I think these, if you're doing an American farm, I think these have a home. Yeah, they're pricey, but what also comes in this American Silos pack are grass dryers to turn grass to hay, silos, fermenting silos. It has all of them. So I could easily see a farm that would have, 3 of these, one being a hay, one being for silage, and then one being for TMR, and just kind of putting them on a farm. Like, I live in America, and when you drive around and see the farms around where I live, you see silos like this on the farms. Now, I've never, unfortunately, been to Europe, so I don't know what the farms in Europe, if they have silos like this. I would guess some probably do. But to me, these feel like they belong on a farm. Again, they're a little pricey, a little, slower, but from an aesthetic point of view, they look like they should be there. But if you're playing where, like, you're kind of just coming up, starting, well, you're probably going to start with a mixing wagon anyways and not have something like this. But I really like the way these silos look for any farm build that I would do. All right. Feed production mod. It has TMR production plant in it. It's right here. It's made by the author FS22, and this is an interesting mixer. I can totally see this on a farm, especially like an older farm where you have farmers who, like, farmers don't throw things away, they keep stuff, and like I can totally see a farmer taking like an old mixing wagon hopper and building with an old silo, something similar to this on their farm just to make things easier. Totally get it. Totally get it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the recipe. So this is, again, like I said, the TMR production from the pack feed production pack. As we can see, it holds around 400,000 liters of silage, or of TMR storage. Sorry, 400,000 liters of TMR storage. It can hold 400,000 liters of hay, 400,000 liters of silage, 400,000 liters of straw, and 400,000 liters of mineral feed. You can see that it's doing um, 2,000. See, this one is interesting because you're putting in 3,000 liters of materials and you're only getting 1,000 liters of TMR out. So this recipe is definitely very custom and it seems to be a little expensive, but that's what the recipe is. This building costs $20,000 to build, 48 cycles a month, $48 per cycle. So we have a cost of $1 per cycle, which is again kind of more in that upper range. 400 cycles to fill, and output for a month is 48,000 liters of TMR. So that is a little pricey. Again, I could totally see something like this on home built on a farm. It doesn't take bales, so that's kind of a drawback for gameplay. You have to do all loose foraging of hay, loose silage, loose straw, all of that sort of stuff. Lots of mineral feed. But again, I could totally see this on a farm anywhere, where a farmer taking like an old mixing wagon, some old pipes, an old silo, and just building something like this for the farm. Totally could see it being used. I don't know if I would use it for any of my gameplay except for maybe a role play, just because it is expensive and it takes a lot of materials to make the TMR. But for like a let's play or just for fun, I probably wouldn't use it just because of the expensive cost of the recipe. So up next is the farm TRM milk building by Chumpy Farmer. I like this little building. I could totally see this being next to a barn. It could offer milk storage if you want. But right now I don't have the milk storage. I mean, if you look inside, it looks like there could be milk storage. But there really isn't. You can put there's a secondary mod in this pack that you can put inside of here that would then cause delivering of milk. So let's go ahead and take a look at the recipe. This one's a little special. See, this one has something called corn, which we all know what corn is, but we need it for our TMR in this one, and that took me by surprise a little bit. But all in all, as you can see, you're putting in 4,000 liters of ingredients, getting 4,000 liters of TMR out. You have 2,160 cycles a month at a cost of $120 a month. Storage 5 million liters of TMR, 1.2 million liters of hay, 2 million liters of silage, 500,000 liters of straw. Takes bales, so that's good. Cost $65,000 just to place this building. Additional cost to place the milk storage silo extensions, the milk extension silo inside. Um, 300 corn per cycle. It holds 300,000 liters of corn. This costs 6 cents per cycle, so it's one of the cheaper per cycle costs of the mixers. Takes 1,250 cycles to fill, so you'll have this thing filled in about half a day. If you need, it can make 8,640,000 liters TMR. Unfortunately, it only stores 5. So if you run it all day, you're not going to be producing because you run out of storage unless you're using a lot of TMR. So again, because of the cost, um, it could be a very viable milking TMR mixer. The side note is the corn. Like, you're gonna have to grow corn and put corn in it, or buy corn, or do corn contracts. So that is sort of a drawback to it. But like, again, for a role play, yeah, all day using this. For a let's play, maybe. Um, you know, Ready can do, like, on the console we don't really get to do like the I don't know what it's called, the animal feed mod. So, but I know a lot of that, they take some different types of things for their TMR. So this could kind of be a way to bring that into the game a little bit. But yeah, I do like this little building, and I might use this in the future just because it also has the additional milk storage that you could try to put in it. So that is the Farm TMR Milk Building by Chumpy Farmer. All right, just a couple more to go. So next up on our list is the Field Products Factory, authored by Farmer Jeb. Take a look at it real quick, and then we'll go take a look at the recipe. Inputs in here, get stuff out here. So this does way more than just TMR. It's any type of farm thing that you would like. So if we look, there's hay recipes, different types of silage recipes, manure recipes, TMR, 2 different TMR recipes, fertilizer recipes. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. It's not just for making TMR, although in this case I've used it just for that. Let's talk numbers real quick. So it holds 1,650,000 liters of TMR. The recipe I used for this work was the hay plus silage recipe. So that's what my numbers on the spreadsheet correlate to. Although this recipe probably would produce a little bit more per month. So you get 864 cycles a month, costs $120 per cycle. Again, 2,000 liters of goods in, 2,000 liters of TMR out. TMR storage, 1,650,000 liters. Hay storage, 1,650,000 liters. Silage storage, 1,650,000 liters. It does not accept bales here, so all has to be filled with loose silage and loose hay. This building costs $100,000 to build, and it costs approximately 14 cents per cycle. Not too bad. It's not the cheapest, but it's definitely close to. It will take 825 cycles to fill, so a little bit less than a month to fill. And 1 month's output is a little bit more than it can store at 1,728,000 liters. So it's not a bad TMR mixer if you can get past the fact that it doesn't take bales. I don't do a lot of loose gaming, but again, I don't think I would also put this on a farm. This to me is like one of those things where you'd be in a co-op somewhere, like if you're making a co-op type area or an industrial type area where you can bring in a bunch of different materials and get a bunch of different farm products out, like you saw the silage, hay, TMR, manure, solid fertilizer type stuff. So in the right type of gameplay, this definitely is very viable to use. Not in a lot of gameplays that I do, so I don't make use of it very much, but again, because of the lower cost per cycle and the amount it can make in a day, I think it's a very positive thing for TMR mixing. Now, of course, those results will change based on if you're running a bunch of different recipes at one time, but again, could be useful in the right settings. So coming up next is the mixing station I have used quite a bit. I use it in Lottery Farmer. I've used it on a couple different gameplays. I don't know. I like the way it looks. To me, it feels like it fits on European maps nicely. And this is the TMR Mixing Station by happy_mole. That's on the mod hub. Takes bales. You just drop whatever you want right in this area here. You can see it has nice little outputs to show some little storage of it. You dump your mineral feed right over here. This door doesn't open, it's just for show. You get your TMR out from right here. One thing to note, it is a little low, so some of the larger trailers, like the trailer I have up there, won't fit under here. So you have to use, a little bit smaller of a trailer to come under to fill. Let's take a look at the recipe. So you put 920 liters of ingredients in, you get 920 liters out. This station has the smallest storage of all the materials. Stores, as you can see, 46,000 liters of TMR, and it holds 18,000 liters of silage, 18,000 liters of hay, 1,000 liters of mineral feed, and 9,000 liters of straw. 168 cycles, 24 cycles a month, which costs at about 14 cents per cycle. You need 50 cycles to fill, so in one day you could definitely fill it 3 times if you can keep everything in it. Output for a month is 154,000 liters. Now, that said, seems pretty small, which is why I think this kind of can work on a farm. Like if you have a small to mid-sized dairy farm, like Lottery Farmer has, like that's why I put it there. It will take care of feeding my cows on Lottery Farmer until I hit a certain point, and then I'll be needing to run it almost, keeping it filled with materials, which it's not hard to do. In a role play, it kind of makes sense. You can do a lot of that stuff behind the scenes. I just like the way it looks. I get this one for the way it looks. If I was doing like Let's Play, I don't know, I'd probably fall over to the American Style Pack over there. Or, like I said, I might even think about trying out the Milk TMR building. So, but yeah, I do really like the way this building looks. I think it fits in nicely European. I could see creating like a little co-op area where you might have 2 of these or so, kind of lined up. But yeah, it's a nice little mod by happy_mole. And the final TMR mixing that I could find in Mod Hub for console is relatively new. This one just popped up. In fact, I was getting ready to shoot this video when it popped up, and so I thought, let's get it on here and let's get the stats for it. So this is from the Feed Mixing Plants XXL mod from DS-Power. In the mod, it has a TMR mixer and a pig food mixer. Shows a little cow head there, which is kind of cute. It takes bales. You just kind of bring everything. You can kind of back up and pretend to dump it in here, or just get close in here and dump it. It takes everything right there. TMR comes out right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the recipe. We have 3,550 liters of ingredients going in, same amount of TMR coming out, which is great. Holds about 150,000 liters in storage of TMR. You can put in about 150,000 liters of hay, silage, and straw. It's going to hold 100,000 liters of mineral feed, 480 cycles per month, $1,920 per cycle, $50,000 to build the building, and that comes out to about $4 per cycle, which is really expensive. It's the most expensive on this list. Quick though, 42 cycles only to fill it, and in one day it can produce 1,704,000 liters. So this is again one of those types of where you're gonna fill it quicker than you can store it. So you got to be aware of that when running it, especially at $4 per cycle. You don't want this thing running and have it not doing anything. So it's a newcomer. I like the way it looks. To me, it looks like something you could throw. You know, it's a little more industrial. I don't think you'd see this on a farm per se. I think you could see this, maybe someone throwing this up by biodiesel plant, or again, if you're building a co-op type area or an animal dealership area. Something not on a farm though. I don't see this on a farm. But yeah, that is a newcomer. And that is all the TMR mixers we have. If I missed any, please let me know down below in the comments. I would love to take a look at them and see how they are. But that is all. Hopefully you guys will find some use with this. I know I learned a lot. I didn't know about all these different mixers. When I went into this, I knew about this one, and I knew about the big one over there at the end of the yard. I did not know about the rest of these, so I learned something great, and I think, you know, there's new opportunities for me for when I do my Let's Plays or just play by my own not recorded games. So thank you for joining me at the test farm. This is Fields and Skylines. Wishing you a great day, and let me know down below in the comments if I missed anything. And check out all of the data in the link down below. Thank you.